Yo, what is going on, guys? How is everybody doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day, and welcome back to another YouTube tips video thing where I'm going to be teaching you guys, showing you guys my render settings. A lot of people, well, not a lot of people, one person's been asking, but I thought if I'm going to do one tutorial, I might as well give it to you all. So yeah, basically, obviously, in Sony Vegas is where I'm going to be doing my tutorial yet again. This is the only software I use. I do have Premiere and After Effects. Don't know how to use them, but for today, we're going to look at Sony Vegas. Now, on my screen right now, you can see that I have a Black Ops 2 clip, and you can tell from it right now, you can see all this blur. Someone asked last time what the disable resample does. Now, if I right-click the switch and go to its switches now and hit that disable resample, as you can see, it makes the gun a lot more cleaner and it just looks a lot better. That's what disable resample does. It gets rid of any of that unnecessary crap that's not needed there. Sony Vegas is good at that. Any other software, I believe it doesn't do that, like After Effects and Premiere, they don't add that sort of thing. Just Sony Vegas. And like I say, if I put it back on, it's there again, look. Ooh, good old thing. So I'm going to disable resample. Now, whenever you're doing your render settings, what you want to do, guys, is make sure that your clip is the same as make sure your your things are going to be the same as what you've recorded, like the bit rates and stuff, and also the audio quality. Like my mic at the moment records in 48,000 kilohertz, meaning that that's what I'm going to render out my audio in. But when you're first dragging something to Sony Vegas, it normally pops up with this. At least it does for me anyway, to match the settings. So I do that, and then obviously I still just disable resample just in case anything else gets added along the way, or if I had a clip or like my webcam records in 30 FPS, that will have to be disabled resample so you don't have any of that unnecessary blur. Moving on to the render settings, I'm just going to use this one clip, but all you're going to do is highlight the entire thing like that, and then you're going to go to your little render as button up here as you normally would, and I'll show you really quickly at the end how to render multiple things at one go. It's so simple, but we're going to look at my render settings so far. Now, as you can see, I'm going to go out my favourites for now and make this slightly bigger for you guys to see. And all you're going to be doing, guys, is make sure you've got this little button here, takes render loop region only. That'll render the loop region that you have selected, like I showed you a second ago. That's the loop region when I highlighted it. And then from there, the settings I use, if I remember correctly, is this Sony AVC MVC one. This is one I use personally. Now, you can use WMV, Windows Movie Video, and as you can see, I've got a few settings there. I just don't know, I find no difference in that or this one. So I use Sony AVC MVC, and as you can see, I've got three different things. So I'm going to go back to my favorites right quick, and then in my Sony AVC MVC, I'll just run through my 720p 60 FPS render settings. I don't really have the 60 FPS 1080 because I don't record in 1080p anyway. I only recording this, but for my 720p 60 FPS things, as you can see, you've only got one video format. Well, you've got two, but make sure it's AVC. Frame size, leave it as high definition 1280 by 720, unless you want it as 1920 by 1080. Put your profile setting to high, and then your coding CABC, which is already set to, and then obviously with your frame rate, and just set it to whatever it is. So if you've got 30 FPS or 60 FPS, just pick one of them. And then you want to, if this is ticked, I'm not sure if it is or not, just make sure it's unticked, and then go to field order, non-progressive scan, and then your pixel aspect ratio should be set to just 1 as normal. Now I record in 16,000 bitrate, so that's what I'm going to render my thing out. In your recording software, you should have some sort of setting where it says bitrate for your video. Just make sure that's set to the same as the video is, so you're getting the same quality you're recording as. And especially the higher, obviously, the higher the bit rate, the more better the quality is going to be and what have you. Number of slices I leave as 1, and then my encoding I just leave as automatic. If you've got a really good GPU, graphics card, whatever you want to call it, you can render using your graphics card, and it should be a lot faster. And then enable progressive download. Now, moving on to audio, this is pretty simple, as I say. Audio format AAC, which is what it's set to. My sample rate is 48,000 on my mic, so that's how I'm going to leave it. And then I'm going to leave a bitrate as 192 and as stereo, so you can hear 2 monos, just one side, I believe. And I believe that's everything for that one. In your project, just set your render quality to best, stereo views project, and that's it. So then when you've done that, just put a name for whatever you want it, save it, click OK, and then make sure you favourite it, and then you've got your favourites only. Same thing for the 30 FPS ones, same thing, run through it all. You just set this to 30 FPS. I'm going to put that back to automatic, and my audio needs putting back up. Actually, I need to move a lot of things around in my own stuff right now. See, I don't use 30 FPS often. All the time I use 30 FPS is when I use this camera on its own. Just like that, as you can see, I'm going to favourite it because I forgot actually, no, I need to go back into this one, customise template, and this is what you're going to do every time you change something. Just make sure you mess with all these again, make sure it's all the same, automatic, make sure you hit the save button again, and okay, and then it'll give you a little star, and that's how you do that. And then obviously just set it to whatever you want to save and click render, and it'll render it out. That's the settings I use. Now if you want to do a batch render, say this clip was split or whatever, or if it were 2 different videos, I'd want to render out both together, and I wanted to just leave a computer rendering. All you're going to do is highlight the first one, click Control and R, not Control and R, that's recording, just click R, sorry, I'm used to different softwares, and then you'll highlight the second one, same as this, and just click R again, enter, and as you can see we've got these little region points 1 and 2, then you want to go up to Tools, Scripting, Batch Render, and then when this loads, come on Sony Vegas, time. Right, as you can see we've got base file name, just put that wherever you want to put it. No need, I'd just put it on my desktop because why not. And then you go to where your render settings are that you've just recreated. So mine's in Sony AVC, MVC. I'd go down here, click my 720p 60 FPS one. Now when you do this, make sure you click render regions, don't just render project, render selection, make sure you click in render regions, and obviously that will render the regions that you have set. And then when I click OK, it'll render through the first one like that, as you can see, and then it'll render through the next one afterwards. I'm not going to keep it rendering because it messes with OBS with renders. But yeah guys, hopefully them settings helped you. Hopefully the batch render thing also helps you save a bit of time on whatever you're doing. And just in general, I hope it all helped you out. Another one person that desperately needed these. Like I say, they're my render settings. Like if you want to see the other ones, I can run through the other ones, but that's the main one I use. Hopefully it did help you in some way or shape or form, and hopefully you enjoyed. If you did enjoy guys, be sure to smash that like button. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in tomorrow's video guys. Peace.
Strap on.